Welcome back to the Wholesome Dog Life, everyone. I'm spending this long weekend on the beach, so I thought it would be a great opportunity to tell you some tricks on best ways to have fun with your doggy in a way that will make it fun for both of you and also a way to keep your dog healthy and happy in the experience. So when you start your dog off at a beach, treat it the same as you would with a park. Don't just take them off lead immediately. You will probably feel a little bit of peer pressure because many people have their dog off lead at the beach. Don't feel like you have to have your dog off lead on the beach. It's much safer to have your dog on the lead for multiple reasons. One being you will limit their physical activity. Over exercise on the beach is very common, as well as the fact that you don't want your dog to greet everyone and everything, going up to people, sunbathing or trying to have picnics, or just dogs that they don't know. So it's really a good idea to keep your dog on lead. When it comes to exercising your dog, it's always important to remember not to overdo exercise. Dogs have lots of energy, so it's hard to tell when it's enough. For puppies, a good rule of thumb is 5 minutes for every month of their age. That way we know that we're not going to overdo it for their growing joints. When they're young, their growth plates haven't fused yet and their bones are still soft. So excessive running and bouncing around on sand can be dangerous for their joints. Either as puppies they can get injuries, or later in life they will get things like hip dysplasia. So it's very important to make sure to limit their exercise. That's why having them on the lead can be helpful, because you can limit how much they can run. It's also a good idea to keep your dog on the wetter sand, because the soft sand is a lot harder for them to walk on. It's a lot more work for their joints to do. So they can run on it, but rather make them run more on the harder sand than the soft sand. When you go on the beach, it's really important to keep them in control. You don't want to be that person on the beach with the out of control dog bothering people trying to have their ice creams. So just remember to be respectful of everyone. It's a really good place to get your watch me in check. Get your dog's focus on you. Make sure that they are coming back to you. They're not barking at people. Just keeping them under control. Your basic training still applies. If you are feeling ready to let your dog off the lead, that means that your dog has excellent recall at home and good recall out of the home. Maybe you want to try it on the beach as well. Don't just let them off the lead straight away. Start off with them on the lead, then give them some slack, call them back to you and reward them, give them a bit longer lead, call them back to you and reward them. Then maybe between the two of you, if you have two of you with you, call your dog between you, so that your dog is focused on staying with you rather than just allowing your dog to run freely and run away from you. We want to encourage our dog to keep coming back towards us. That's the goal, so that when we do want them to come back to us, they are ready to come back to us. So don't allow your dog to just go freely off lead without a recall. A beach is a great place for your dog to socialize with other dogs, but again, normal socializing rules apply. So you want to make sure that your dog is calm when they approach another dog. So if they're pulling hectically at the lead, barking or yipping at the lead, trying to get to the other dog, you're going to want to call them back to you and get them to focus on you before you allow them to go play. This just brings down the energy for that play and also gets them to realize that in order to get what they want, they have to focus and calm down a bit rather than pulling to get what they want. You also want to check out any dogs that your dog is going to play with. Your dog doesn't have to play with every other dog. Also be respectful of people who have dogs on leads. A lot of people keep their dogs on lead for a reason. So always ask the owner whether their dog is on or off lead. Ask the owner if it is alright if your dog plays with them, and then monitor that play as well. Make sure you know your dog's signals for when they are uncomfortable, and have a look at the other dog. Maybe they're also showing signs that they're uncomfortable and you can remove your dog out of that situation. A beach is a great place to bring toys. You can play with your dog. and bring a frisbee, a ball, whatever. It's important though to not do too much repetitive play. For example, throwing of a tennis ball over and over again. That can be a common cause for injury in dogs. So just mix up the play quite a lot, and then bring treats. The beach is a really great place to practice your training. As much as you can train at home, the more you bring it out into different experiences, the more well-rounded your dog will be in their training. So the beach is a really fun way to add that training, and you'll find that you'll have to start kind of almost back at the beginning because there's so much new that your dog wants to experience. So to get that focus back on you, and then even getting basic things like a down on the sand will be so much more difficult for your dog because it's a new texture. So it's just about adding difficulty to their training and making things way more interesting for the both of you. A beach is a great opportunity to socialize your dog to other things as well as dogs, but things like water. So the sea is very different to other water that your dog may have experienced as it moves towards your dog. So it's important to be very calm when you approach the water with your dog, and positive, and don't ever force your dog. So don't pull the lead and drag your dog in, or pick up your dog and throw them into the water, or carry them into the water, because that will only make them fear the water. What you're going to do is you're going to take a toy that they love, or some treats, whatever drives them, and you're going to have them on the lead with you, and you're going to lead them with you, and you're going to reward them all the way with your voice and with the treat. If they're not okay, if they're wanting to back out, you're going to allow them to, because you're kind of pushing their boundaries. And next time you can do a little bit further, but reward them for the little bit that they do. And eventually they will get it, and they'll start to get more and more encouraged. And you don't have to have a dog that swims, but you just don't want a dog that is really fearful of the waves. So even if your goal is just have them be able to walk on the beach and not be fearful of the waves coming towards them, that's a really good goal. Just be wary of things like your dog ingesting water. A lot of dogs will gulp the water either by biting the waves or even trying to drink the water, and that can result in tummy problems. And a lot of dogs will eat seaweed that can make them sick. There's often fish or dead sea life on the beach, so it's important to just watch what your dog is sniffing, that they don't ingest anything, because that can make your dog quite ill. And then also look out for things like jellyfish and blue bottles that can injure your dog. Winter is also a really great time to take your dog to the beach, but if you are going in summer, try not go at midday, go in the morning or the afternoon, so that it's not peak sun time, because then also the sand won't be too hot and the sun won't be too hot. Then also remember to bring some water for your dog to drink, and take some breaks from the sun. So find a shady patch or bring an umbrella so that your dog can take a break from the sun. And then don't be there too long so that your dog doesn't overheat. So just a quick reminder that when you are taking your dog to the beach, it's a common area with lots of other people. So be a good dog owner and pick up after your dog. So don't forget to take your poop bags with you and pick up after your pup. When you're heading home, your dog's probably going to be covered in sand, so there's a couple of ways that you can clean up. If your dog is just covered in dry sand, if they haven't been swimming, you can just dust them off with a microfiber towel, give them a brush, it might get the sand out. If the sand is wet, if they've been swimming and then in the sand, it's probably best to give them a bath or a rinse. If your dog has very sensitive skin and prone to itching, I would definitely recommend a proper bath, because the sea salt can give them dry skin. So definitely do that. And then also, if your dog has been swimming, it's important to dry out their ears, because wet ears can cause a fungal infection in their ears. It's also important after the beach, like any outing, to give your dog a good handling session. So check everything around: teeth, ears, hands, feet. Make sure that nothing has gotten stuck in the paws, maybe some shells from the beach, or maybe they've eaten something and something stuck in their mouth. Just give your dog a good once over to make sure that they haven't injured themselves on the beach. And obviously a big love, and yeah, then make sure to enjoy the next trip to the beach. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you are enjoying these videos, please give it a big thumbs up and also subscribe. It will help me with my channel and help me make some more videos. I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks.